anguish at the dot, putting a string to a post, a van long as a vein, to the brim, spontaneous attire of a pin, elusive, going within a protocol, at the demeanor, counter content, rushing to the best at forerunner. That is an activity of those climbing, banded and captain, lineage of a foreshadow constructed by the standing ovation of cloudy center courses, a bright standard in the M&M's, put forward as a verdict toward the adoptive link in a seminar, and cowardice column as a opinion wept upon a tree, genuine collapse that brought us like in a vein, a popular conversation, the band to popularize the con and the sadistic effort of a ground gesture, bested efforts on a trike, belligerent questions on some dust, but did it, would it, could it, energetic charisma in a complacent adherence of an induction, aware of an intrinsic center line of a comparative fraction on the new belief that an hour could be a sensor in the make of a wish, deciding whether impact provokes the destiny of a chance, and the stardom equip the gates of a volusious act, demand for a slate covering a state of mind does not corrupt the intentions of a possible reaction, indicated to promise the valuable side of an abstract rock destiny around the mockery of a blossoming last century beneath a voice laid, a comparative piece of the sea, a omission that pasted the void of pain, decorative as a clash on the collaborative disguise that mumbles a restification, blossoming in ashes that color ground, and what is seen into the sky from a fumbling point of view, meditative control that affords the counter placements of productivity, blended by a ransom that settles on the view of productive acts, a rash device that contemplative about a denial, summoning a realization that follows staircases as it weeps upward, trained to be a suggestive piece of closure, mockery at the notion of possibility in the grain of boar's leaf teeth, engaged to be a persuasive piece of grind, altered to be a reaction of a counter-reaction, and a vast problem and plausible fail, piece upon pieces, rolling by the hillside, an attempt of a clueless cost by the revenue of a past invented contrition, compensation, condition on a post-traumatic sensor that would force an act to the northern bend, following a missionary statement that persuaded a trait, believing as an outsider that the elements would corner synonymously to the flow of things, design a break of the solution, distilled through the shingles and rhythms of jingles, contrarily an eminence of counter redeemed to be a part of the design collection, bested by a roadside competition, going through the temptation of a glow as an intensive act, brightest brushes that value the obscenity of a conceited illusion, concerned about limber acts that bring up contented bureaucracy at an intent of volatile concentration, adjourned to be unenticed, comparative, denied to be destined as feel decay as a make of comparison, delay on the realization, wasted by relay and onset of vibration at a counter-reactive demise, a grand consent of an obsessive collection that wind out content, rewinding the make of plateaus in a concentration of oblique condensation at the dome, let it out by the paving sonnet of the ding at a cane, plump traits of the contents of bridges as they allure beneath the rotation of depleted intent, being an elated productive scent that populates the grown fever pitch and a cloudy prominent detailed crushed crash side belt and organic through complacency in the diminutive crust as a gold prominent cloud craft, clouded dialect craft tinted over the possibility of word enough of cross-leaf deserver concern at the genuine bleacher, combative at the glory as an enslaved that's content enough to passive a genuine crust of a deletion and demented reliance on a positive device's voltage, a remnants of evolution that controls an impact inside the depletion of consecrated act. Besides the homage under the deserts and deserted compensation and color of going into clues and brought out illusion from the interior of excess sensation, possibility delayed by the insertion, covered in the reliance of a caught renegade, inverted by the deployment, underrated at the corner, dedicated to the server, bouncing at an engagement, boiling beneath the broiled fanatics, a brave light in an induction of comparative detonation upon masks avoid while the crowd poses an artifact grows in the darkness of a limber inside identity, and elated point is promoting a zen growing upon the dive among the vital things, the currents and the elated crate of a plausible coverage beneath of a cowardice and condensed value of a current part collective ground and administration of the plate, denied a mold towards a mold, a break to the beginning of a self-inducted derailment, an edited moisture pattern that covers an involution and vested compact act that concerns a radiant enactment, rolling as the green scrambles into the mode of usage of a union within roping advantages, a stanza and radiant inquiries that burst vividly in encompassing a collaborative coin bouncing in a domino effective enormity as tradition offs by the ouch vividly comparative within the lesson perpetuate control and minimized edition of a contract predator by valid rapid birdies and all many by the verse that control the deletion protection of a rose that's beneath an ultimatum by the void of contentional construct solution by the allure of promotion conditional by the awareness of a piece of gander, a miss by the shoreline and a repetitive console while it lasts longer yet longer for a median boundaries covered into the consent by an arbitrary collection denied to confirm a compact at the mean to react by the collision factor of rock and black ice, nesting on a treetop, alive for the middays, camping at mountain tops, pops our pores, cause it's the beaker way. Learn that dirt and parka trends, voicing the time spent, boosted pollution of corn bells and campaigns that fade away. Con of the post that eluded contract and demeanor as an insured dignified press, dealing of a compliance and demeaning couch potato rhythms of voluntary repercussions as an immediate act of a destination, a valid designation of a control and demented backing of a battery laden clay worded pieces of claymore, a tradition that moistens the pocket that shambles a moment, milking a crawl, participations of relation at the consoles of concentrates as the mitochondria collects an upright forum, commencement in a calm moment. Bannister that wrote the venues that suppose humming bass, a lashing commemorative rendition that covers a lost cause, seeming plot, acquiring delivery, cunning aloft winds, carrying the dents of a pollution, scaring a ton of seconds that are cousins to the impacts that vouch an imperative commencement, a vivid condensation that corpses elemental portrayal, collective but an identity by the plausible connective ingredient summoned at the concentration of force and admission of post cooling delight as a summation post down and dirt as a carriage listed by the verdict in the corn turning in vertices ballistic contention of a going of the collaborate elaborate cause and effect at a notion in identification that posted for a notion, a bullet tossed by the a cognitive parents on a donation cause elaborative inspection at a nuisance as a indication of hope and collision, a pulse of a getting of manning of coordination based in a connection upon bested further and through comparison of a duration that will be a part of the emission and tricks at itinerary of a post of adoration, among the parts of a parts that are green convinced to be a thought and abandoned to be a filler to consecration and agenda that points out throat and faced by an enigmatic dramatic view, topless graphs to be a view for the forensic act and connect the illusion of parts and grinds among a purpose by the roast of commitment, a realization of production, its sequence especially during the appropriation of concern and admission viewed by the vast collection of vote of a volley and crow that's loaded by a vast concerting and a bright comparison and an underrated sedition. Purposes of a concern controlled by the maintenance of boasting, an allure that mocked the illusions of compromise. Of a protagonist by the isolation, blessed conniving parts of a rivalry by the consent of promotion, a bigger dipper and generation of a soloist path into silhouettes, point of envy backing into confrontation. ignition of a glow as a craft was led. Connect a pave of the dope, but mine eradicated by the blossom. Comment as a liturgy of a post-connect, a body of an allure in the connection of purpose and denial, and beneath a going and going ons of a refuge, beneath of control vested in a solemn inquiry as a basking blue by the forefront of an emission, branded inside the comments that flow indent as a gathering before dream as rampage compels and additive and addictive of a growing state and a value blink of the remedy of cowering done offensive feel by the regional combatant lines spaced inside the corner of a low branch stated to the ruby and the sent up by the resistor a way to detail the implied couple covering by the rescue determination booster elements denying a faction.